fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Let's go, big fellow! I'm Silver! Away!
To continue the Lone Ranger's adventures of last Friday night, the masked man and Tonto had been mystified because so many outlaws were trying to get inside the San Brazos jail. Jimmy Ives and Luke Sutter had staged a fake holdup, which placed Jimmy behind the bars. King Larson, a gambler, had feigned drunkenness to accomplish the same purpose. Then the Lone Ranger, with blazing guns and trip-hammer fists, had forced his way into the jail. He found Ives and Larson fighting over a few adobe bricks they had removed from the wall. A moment later, the masked man was wounded as he and Tonto ran to escape an angry posse of citizens. Now, after dodging through the rear door of the Bridal Bit Cafe, he was being aided in his escape by a beautiful dark-haired girl.
Where are we now?
Underneath a log shack in the edge of town. There's a trapdoor right above us, but I'm not tall enough
I'll find it.
Good. Now there should be a ladder that you can pull down.
Yes, here it is.
I'll go first. I know the inside of the shack by heart, and I can...
Of course. Here, let me help you.
Now, can you make it all right?
I think so. There.
Oh, I'm so glad. We're safe now. I know we are.
I hope so. At least until I can... It's very dark in here. Aren't there any windows in this shack?
They're covered over with blankets. But there's a lamp. I'll light it in just a moment.
What are you doing?
You're wounded. Sit down.
All right.
I'll have to bandage your shoulder. One of the ruffles on my petticoat is the only piece of white cloth I know of.
You're very kind.
Now I'll light the lamp. The only water I know of is in that rain barrel over in the corner. I should heat it, but I'm afraid smoke from the chimney might attract some...
Cold water will be all right. At least it'll cleanse the wound.
Well, I'll do my best. You'll have to tear your shirt sleeve a little bit, though.
All right. Now, we can take up our conversation at the point where I came in the back door of the Bridal Bit and found you standing in the hallway.
All right.
You seem to know exactly why all of these men are trying to get inside the jail.
So do you. We're all after the same thing. Why pretend?
You mentioned a map that's hidden in the wall of the jail. How did you find out about it?
If I tell you, will you help me get it?
You've helped me. I'm indebted to you.
All right, here's my side of the story. Up until about 15 years ago, one of the most successful outlaws in the West was a man named Mike Barlow.
Yes, that's right.
He and his gang held up trains, robbed banks, anything to get money. Mike personally took charge of all the loot.
I see.
Mike was Irish, but he'd married a very beautiful Spanish woman who died when I was born.
Then you are...
Lola, Mike Barlow's daughter. I was raised in a private school back east. I stayed there until I learned that my father was dead, that there'd be no more money for education or dancing lessons.
Where and how did Mike die?
He was hanged on a gallows right here in San Bazos.
Oh?
And ever since that time, for 15 years, all the members of my father's old gang have tried to find out where he hid the gold he piled up from the robberies. There must be $500,000 in gold.
That's a lot of money.
And 3 days ago, the coffer came back from South America.
Who's the coffer?
He was Mike's closest friend, the last one to see him before he was hanged. The coffer knew that Mike had drawn a map during the last night he spent in the San Bazos jail. And the coffer knew where that map was hidden.
So he came back to San Bazos to get it?
No, he was sick. Needed money for a doctor, so he told the secret to Loop Sutter. Loop repaid him with a bullet. The coffer's dead.
Mm-hmm. He must have told more than one man.
No, he only told Loop. But King Larson, a tin-horn gambler, overheard them talking.
Oh, I see.
So did Boozy Ward. Boozy's a friend of mine. He came to Fort Worth and told me. I was dancing in a cafe there. Now I'm dancing here at the Bridal Bit.
The reason you're really here is to find the map.
So are you. So why shouldn't we work together? My father's hidden gold rightfully belongs to me.
Well, what was it the coffer told Loop Sutter?
Just 9 words. San Bazos Jail, under the sign of 3 bars.
San Bazos Jail, under the sign of 3 bars. And that's why bricks were torn out of one of the walls in the cell.
As if you didn't know. You were trying to break in. There, the bandage is finished.
Thanks. The shack is at the edge of town. It's dark enough for me to slip out and get back to my camp.
You mean you're going to leave, not help me?
Maybe some of those other men, Loop Sutter, King Larson, or Boozy Ward, already have the map.
They couldn't have found it. I was in that crowd that came to the jail when all the shooting started. I saw your gunfight with Loop and Boozy. You wounded them. I saw you knock out the sheriff. Then King Larson and that other man.
Suppose you did find Mike Barlow's gold, Lola. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to all the people from whom he stole it.
I know. That's the very reason I want to find it instead of Loop or King.
Why?
I want to give the money back to the people it belongs to. Every cent of it.
Oh, I see.
Do you think I'd have nerve enough to ask you, the Lone Ranger, to help me if I weren't honest and sincere?
I hope you're telling the truth, Lola.
I am. Believe me, I am. Please help me. You said yourself you were indebted to me.
All right. I'll try.
You'll never regret it. I swear you won't. There. Expressing my gratitude with a kiss is wrong.
No, not wrong. There are more important things to do. Now, with any luck, my Indian friend reached our horses and made camp west of town. I'll find him first, then go back to the jail.
I'll wait in the bridal bit until I hear from him.
Good. I'll see you later. Adios. Ay. Tonto.
Me pretty worried. Me think you...
I'm all right. Been trying to find you or our camp.
Me get way. Ground hitch horses here, back of trees.
Good. I ducked into a back door of the Bridal Bit Cafe and lost those men who were following me.
You have wounds in shoulder. Me fix it.
It's already bandaged, Tonto. Temporarily, at least. See, I met a girl who helped me dodge the posse. A girl named Lola Barlow.
Barlow? That name a bad outlaw, long time ago.
That's right. Lola's his daughter.
She help you?
Yes, that's the puzzling part of it. She called me by name, bandaged my shoulder, and told me why all those crooks are trying to get inside the San Bazos jail.
And why that?
Because on the night before he was hanged, Mike Barlow hid a map in the cell. A map that shows where $500,000 in gold is hidden.
This happened long time ago?
Yes, 15 years.
Girl named Lola. You think her crook, too?
No, I don't think so, Tonto. She's intelligent, very pretty, and she seems sincere. Of course, I could be mistaken. But I promised to help her keep that map out of the hands of those other men.
And what we do now?
Walk back to the jail. We'll leave the horses here.
What do you think Sheriff do after fight?
I don't know, Tonto, what's going on back there now. We'll keep our eyes open and be ready to move fast.
Sheriff! Stand back, boys. Give him some air. Come on, boys. He's coming, too.
What happened?
He got clipped on the jaw by a big owl who's wearing a mask. We lit out after him in a redskin, but they both got away.
Oh, yeah. I remember now. It was a jailbreak. Those two hombres back in the cell, are they?
They've gone, too. The cell door's standing wide open. The mask armory must have used your keys. I found them on the floor.
Yeah, the dirty coyotes. That's the first time anybody's ever pulled a jailbreak on me.
They even tried to dig their way out before the break. Took some bricks out of the wall under the window.
They never would have made that. These walls are over 4 feet thick. The sneaking owl hoot polecats, which way they head?
West, I guess. Near as we could figure out.
Then we'll trail them. I want volunteers for a posse. Who'll ride with me? Good. Let's hit the leather.
All right, come on, boys.
Now, wait a minute. Joe,
Yes, Sheriff.
guess this is sort of like locking the barn door after the horse is stolen. But I can't leave the jail unguarded. You stay here.
No sense in guarding an empty jail, Sheriff. I'd rather go with
Nope,
you.
there's got to be some law left in San Bazos. We'll be back before sunup.
All
All right, boys, let's go.
Lola,
Boozy, I've been waiting up here almost out of my mind with worry. What happened?
somebody new was trying to cut in on us.
What do you mean?
Did you hear all that gunfire up near the jail about 30 minutes ago?
Of course I heard it, but...
Well, I was right in the middle of it. So was Luke Sutter.
The map. Did they get the
I
map?
don't think anybody's got it. Yet.
How do you know?
Well, the way I figure it is like this. The cowpuncher who's working with Luke Sutter gets thrown in jail and starts digging out bricks, looking for the map.
Well,
Then King Larson, who's playing a lone hand, pretends to be drunk. So the sheriff puts him in that same cell with the cowpuncher.
doesn't explain
Oh,
why.
wait a minute. When I head for the jail, I run into Luke Sutter. And we both run into a big, tall gent with a black mask over his face.
I see.
And then the shooting starts. This masked hombre is faster than greased lightning. He plugs me. Look at my hand there. Plugs me and Loop.
Oh, I'm sorry, Boozy.
Then he knocks out the sheriff. He must have opened the cell and had a fight with King and the cowpuncher, too. There's nobody there now. Just a deputy guarding an empty jail.
Where's the sheriff?
Out with his posse. Trailing that masked outlaw.
Good. That's wonderful. Now's our chance to get the map.
Loop Sutter, the cowpuncher, and King Larson are maybe figuring the same thing.
We'll get there first. I'll hold a gun on the deputy while you get the map. Come on.
Kimasabi,
Yes, Tonto.
jail over there look empty. Nobody there.
I can see someone there in the sheriff's office. Maybe it's a deputy.
Plenty good we see lawmen and big posse right out of town. That leave nobody.
Wait a minute,
but-
Tonto.
What matter?
Somebody's moving through those trees right ahead of us. Quiet.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. Walking quietly through the shadows surrounding the San Bosos jail, the Lone Ranger and Tonto heard a stealthy movement in the darkness ahead of them.
Quiet, Tonto. I'm sure there's someone just ahead of us.
Hey, Luke. Luke. Yeah? There's somebody sitting in the front part of that calaboose. There by the desk. See?
Tin-Star deputy, that's all he is. We saw the sheriff head out of town with his posse.
Well, I don't know.
Shut up. I'll give the orders. Come on.
Crook hit Lawman. We move past and catch him, huh?
No, Tonto, not yet. Unless I'm mistaken, as long as there's a certain map hidden in the cell, this jail will draw crooks like a magnet. We'll wait a while and catch them all.
We wait here.
No, we'll try to get a little closer. And that's hard to do because... Wait a minute. The jail has a flat roof. We'll circle the building and climb up there. Careful. We don't want to be seen or heard. I'm sure Luke Sutter and his friend are trying to be just as quiet.
Quiet. Let me go first. I'll handle it.
Hey, what the... Keep your face shut. I got a mighty itchy trigger finger.
Well, he's one of the outlaws who broke jail.
That's right. Get his gun, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Now use it. Just a barrel will be enough.
Wait.
That's it. Now drag him behind the desk.
You want me to pin the sunken tin on my shirt and put on his hat?
Sure. That's it, Jimmy. You don't make a bad-looking lawman.
Yeah, suppose the sheriff comes back before you get through.
Don't worry about the sheriff. Like it's now to be going 2-3 hours. The hombres you got to watch for are King Larson and Boozy Ward. Hand me that lantern over there. I need some light back in the cell.
Yeah. Here you are, Luke.
Thanks. Now keep your eyes peeled. If you see or hear anything suspicious, sing out. I'll be back in the cell digging out bricks with my jackknife.
Reach the edge of the roof, Tonto, and I'll pull you up.
Now, give me your hand.
This roof's a good place for us to keep watch. We can see anyone coming up on either side.
You think feller in cell now? Find map?
I don't know. Hope he doesn't find it before the other two show up, and then up. The window of the cell is right below that far wall. We go over there, we can listen.
Kimasabi.
What is it?
Look, see big fella. He walked the back door of jail.
Yes, I see him. It must be King Larson. We'll let him go in. Wait and see what happens.
Hey, Luke.
Yeah?
Did you find it?
Shut
Well, I'm getting tired
That's
of...
all right, cowboy. You won't be tired much longer.
What the-
I'm right behind you. This is the point of a bowie knife pressed against your back. Don't yell.
King Larson. Where'd you come from?
Right through the back door. I saw you and Luke come in. Pretty good idea, knocking out the deputy and you sitting here in this place. Don't move. Go for that gun and you'll never live to touch it.
What do you want?
Luke Sutter's digging it out of the wall back there. Then I'll take it.
Oh, you dirty...
I warned you.
Strange we haven't heard anything since King Larson went in the back door. Luke's still working in the cell.
You wait for other crook?
Yes, I'm sure there are 4. Lola mentioned them. They all know that they... Toto, look over this way. And there's a man walking toward the front of the jail.
Look like little fella who hold gun on us.
That must be Boozy Ward. Come on, we'll climb down, follow him in the front door.
sign of 3 bars.
That's right. Keep on working, Loop. When you find the map, hand it to me.
King Larson. Boy, you dirty. How'd you get by Jimmy Ives? He's supposed to let me...
You mean your friend, the cowpuncher? He's still sitting out there in the sheriff's office.
How'd you get by him?
Pick up that knife and go to work, Loop. You're going to dig for Mike Barlow's map, but I'm going to carry it out of here.
You sneaking tin horn. I
can use this 45, Loop. Better go to work.
It ain't here. There ain't any map here. See for yourself. Dug every brick out of the wall and...
You're lying. Get to work or I'll...
Hey, you hear that? Somebody came in the front door. Might be the law. I'm going to...
No, you're not. We're going to stay here until that map is found, whether you like it or not. Now, quiet down until...
Whoever it is has stopped out there in the hall.
Yes, right, Luke.
Boozy Ward.
I know you're back there, too, Larson.
Double-cross little barfly.
Listen, both of you hombres. I'm in the dark, here at the end of the hall. You're standing in front of that lantern. Hand over the map, or I'll start pumping lead.
Wait a minute. This is a standoff. None of us will get anything as long as we're trying to double-cross each other.
Is that your idea?
Let's throw in together. Go to work on this wall. Splitting $500,000 3 ways is better than nothing. How about it?
I would... All right. What do you say, Boozy?
Sure. I'll string along.
Let's put up our guns and start digging.
But I tell you, it's no use. Look, can't you see what I've already done? And there's no
Didn't
sign
the
of anybody.
say San Bazos jail under the sign of 3 bars? There were 3 bars in the window.
It's there someplace. It must be.
Maybe you can find it. I can't.
Let's go to work.
In the window, you can see that.
They're all back there in the cell, Tonto.
Wait. Kimasabi. See fella with head on desk. Sleep?
Yes. The outlaw who... Wait a minute. He's dead, Tonto. A knife through his back.
King Larson do it?
I suppose so. That's the reason we didn't hear any scuffle.
Crook and cell not know we here.
I'll know it soon enough. As soon as I... Wait a minute.
What that?
Most lawmen keep handbills and reward notices like these in their desks. I just wanted to see if... Yes, here it is.
Me not savvy.
An old handbill describing the Mike Barlow gang. King Larson, Luke Sutter, Boozy Ward, the coffer. Lola was telling the truth. I'll keep this.
I'll tell you the coffer lied to us. It ain't here. Dug out every brick in the wall.
Under the sign of 3 bars. He must have been lying.
Come on, Tonto.
I'm trying to tell you. That's just about everything's down now.
I'm glad all of you double-crossing crooks are inside of a cell. That's where you belong.
What the mask hombre.
And the engine.
Nobody else is going to...
Not this time, Larson.
My arm.
Check out that lantern, Boozy. I've got him.
Oh, hit me.
That should settle this argument. Get some rope, Tonto. We'll tie them up so they'll be sure and wait for the sheriff.
Me do it.
All right. So you got the drop on us, but you still lose.
Is that so?
Sure. The map's not here. Like as not, there never was any map.
Yeah, me got rope. Me tie up crook now.
I don't know who you are, how you happen to cut in on our game, but you've lost just as much as we have.
That's a shame. For all the work the 3 of you did, prying bricks out of the wall.
The coffer lied. All that local talk about under the sign of 3 bars. Oh, hey, not so tight with that rope, engine.
Well, I'm really just as disappointed as you are. The way I heard the story, there would be no reason for the coffer to lie about it.
Nah. Me tie up all crook.
Good.
Maybe better we find another lantern. Moonlight through window, not make much light.
Yes, it doesn't make a... Oh, wait, Tonto. That's it.
Me not savvy.
The message was, under the sign of 3 bars. That wouldn't necessarily mean under the bars of the window. It might mean... Look, the moonlight coming through the window makes a perfect pattern of 3 bars on this wall.
These fellas dig wrong place.
Give me your knife, Tonto, quick.
Here, knife.
Thanks. The brick seems to come out easy enough. And right behind it is... flat packet wrapped in oil silk. Yes, this is Mike Barlow's map, all right. All we need to do is...
Hand it over to me. The gun is pointing at the back of your head.
Lola, I thought you were...
You thought a lot of things. Don't move, either you or the Indian.
Good work, Lola. Get these ropes off of me, and I'll help you.
No, thanks, Boozy. This masked man has just saved me a lot of trouble tying you up.
What? You mean you're double-crossing me?
At least it's proof of the old story that there's no honor among thieves.
You were the most gullible of them all. You didn't think I really meant that stuff about giving my money back to anyone, did you?
Unfortunately, I did.
Give me the map. And don't try to reach for one of your guns while you're doing it.
All right. Here it is.
Thanks. You're smart enough to know when you're beaten. Stand where you are and don't turn around. Believe me, I can use this gun.
That's one thing you've said. I do believe.
Kimasabi, we go
No, Tonto. Let her get away. She didn't get Mike Barlow's map. I gave her that old handbill. We're going to leave the map on the sheriff's desk.
That sounds like lawmen. Come back now.
We haven't very much time. Come on, Tonto.
By Juniper, I can't understand it. A dead crook here in my chair and 3 live ones tied up back there in the cell.
And that map showing where Mike Barlow hid all his gold from the robberies. Where'd that come from?
Blamed if I know. It just don't make any sense.
Mighty good night's work, I'd say. Almost perfect.
What do you mean, almost?
Well, we didn't run down that mask hombre or the Injun.
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
You've been listening to the OTR Gold Network. Find more classic radio at otrgold.com.